Good morning, folks. Welcome to Minerals, Rocks, and Fossil Talks, and I'm your paleo teacher, Jen. It's Monday Musings, and we're going to talk a little bit about Macronaria. Now, if you've been following my post this month, you will recall the one I did on sauropod phylogeny around June 3rd. Today, I'm going to focus on one clade called Macronaria. The name Macronaria means large nose, and this is in reference to the large nasal opening in their skulls, which is typically bigger than the orbit or eye opening in the skull. This clade first appeared in the Middle Jurassic and lasted until the extinction of the non-avian dinosaurs in the late Cretaceous, and they have been found on every continent but Australia and Antarctica. In review, here are the characteristics or synapomorphies we use to diagnose a Macronarian sauropod. So the middle and posterior neural spines have distal ends that extend out transversely. Posterior neural spines extend at the tip, forming a triangular process upwards. The anterior chevrons have open proximal articulation. Here. They have robust spatulate teeth with broad crowns. They have a crest formed by a large protruding nasal. They have elongate metacarpals, as you can see on this foot here. And their front limbs are longer than their hind limbs. Now we're going to go through a list of some important Macronarians. We're going to start with Abrosaurus, discovered in 1984 near Zhejiang, China. Its name means delicate lizard. Abrosaurus was an early Macronarian from the Middle Jurassic period, about 168 to 161 million years ago. It consisted of a nearly complete skull, which is super freaking rare in sauropods. So, cool. Next we have Australotitan. It was discovered in 2005 in Queensland, Australia, and it means southern giant. Australotitan is the largest dinosaur found in Australia. Pretty sweet. Then we have Camarasaurus, which was found during the infamous Bone Wars. It's the most common sauropod dinosaur in the Morrison Formation. It was named in 1877 by Edward Drinker Cope. Its name means chambered lizard. The first specimen was discovered from Canyon City, Colorado, in the Garden Park Quarry. Other specimens have been found at Como Bluff, Wyoming, Fruita, Colorado, Dinosaur National Monument, Utah, Black Mesa, Oklahoma, South Dakota, New Mexico, and the Snowy Mountains of Montana. So it's all over the freaking place. Over 500 specimens are known from juvenile to adult. In fact, the most complete sauropod ever discovered was a juvenile Camarasaurus, and you've probably seen a copy of it on display. Hang on one moment. Does this skeleton look familiar? Yeah, this is the juvenile that came from Dinosaur National Monument, and it's everywhere. Just on Saturday, I was taking colleagues around and we saw a copy of it. So, there's lots. There are 4 recognized species of Camarasaurus. There is Camarasaurus grandis, Camarasaurus lentis, Camarasaurus lewisi, and Camarasaurus supremus. Stratigraphic evidence suggests an evolutionary progression of the genus within the Morrison Formation. C. grandis is the oldest occurring in the lower saltwash member. It briefly coexisted with C. lewisi and C. lentis in the upper saltwash and lower brushy basin, respectively. C. lentus continued alone until it briefly overlapped with C. supremus in the upper brushy basin member. And then it left C. supremus as the lone species left. This immediate succession of species, as well as similarities between the two, suggest C. lentus evolved directly into C. supremus. So that's super cool. Next, we have Euhelopus, which was discovered in 1913 by a Catholic priest named Father R. Mertens. It was the first dinosaur scientifically investigated in China. And unlike most sauropods, it had a nearly complete skull, which is super awesome. It lived about 129 to 113 million years ago during the early Cretaceous period. This one is Fukua Titan. It was described in 2010, and it is a titanosaur from Japan. Next is Laryniosaurus. It is a chimerosaurid found in Portugal in 1949. It was found in the Larynia Formation, which is the sister formation to the American Morrison Formation. So same environment and all that, with a lot of the same dinosaurs. It may not have Chimerosaurus, but it has Laryniosaurus. They're very, very similar. Its front limbs are only slightly longer than that of Chimerosaurus. This is Venenosaurus, a brachiosaurid from the early Cretaceous Cedar Mountain Formation. It was found in 1998, and there are remains from an adult and a juvenile that were found in the poison strip member. This is a Bitosaurus, another brachiosaurid from the Cedar Mountain Formation. This one was found in the Musson-Tuchet member. This one is known from a complete skull, which is, again, unusual for sauropods. Look at how pretty it is. It was found in Dinosaur National Monument, and it is very similar to Giraffatitan. It's just got slightly narrower teeth and a smaller nose. Next is Brachiosaurus, found during the Bone Wars in 1900 by Elmer Riggs near Fruita, Colorado. Brachiosaurus was the largest dinosaur found at the time. Despite its popularity, though, very little is actually known about this sauropod. Most of what we know actually comes from Giraffatitan. This is Siderosaurus, another brachiosaurid found in the Cedar Mountain Formation. This one was found in the Yellow Cap member in 1996. Next is Europasaurus, a brachiosaurid from the late Jurassic Germany. It was identified as an example of insular dwarfism resulting from isolation on an island. It was only about 20 feet long, or 6.2 meters. It's hella adorable. Next we have Giraffatitan, a brachiosaurid from the African sister formation of the Morrison, known as the Tendaguru. Giraffatitan was once thought to be a species of Brachiosaurus, but no longer. It's now considered its own genus. Most Brachiosaurus reconstructions are actually based on this particular genus. It is the largest sauropod known from a relatively complete material. The mountain specimen here in Berlin is a subadult at about 73.7 feet long, or 22.46 meters, and it's about 12 meters tall, or 40 feet tall. So, big subadult. Next is Argentinosaurus. It's a titanosaur from the late Cretaceous of, you guessed it, Argentina. And it's currently considered the largest sauropod of all time. But as you can see, we don't have a lot to go on. So, if we could find some more, that'd be great. And then finally we have Alamosaurus, which is the only titanosaur found in North America. It's found in Texas, Utah, New Mexico, and possibly Wyoming. It was actually first found in New Mexico despite the name Alamo. It's comparable in size to Argentinosaurus, a little bit more complete, so maybe we can say this was the largest right now. And it was probably the one herbivore that Tyrannosaurus didn't mess with as a healthy adult. So, there you have it. Learned a little bit about our individual Macronarians, and I will see y'all tomorrow for Trivia Tuesday. Fossilize you later.